Linda.
Yes.
Thanks for being here today.
You're welcome.
And thank you for what you do for CLC.
Oh, thank you.
Okay, I'm just going to ask you a few questions.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. How did you find out about CLC, or Community Literacy Centers?
Liz called me one day and said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "Not much." It was in the middle of the pandemic, and I was very isolated. And I said, "Not much." And she said, "Would you be interested in volunteering to tutor a citizenship class?" And I had no idea what that was. And I said, "Sure." So that's how I got involved in it.
Okay, from Liz reaching out to you.
Yes.
What made you interested in being a volunteer tutor? Obviously Liz.
Right, Liz. It just sounded interesting, and honestly, I was looking for something to do. I had taught at UCO, and then I took 3 semesters off during the pandemic, and I was so bored, and I was very interested in finding something productive to do so that I could not lose all the brain cells I had. So I didn't know what it was, but I thought it was an opportunity to get back into contact with students, which I
Yes.
really missed.
I see. How did you feel when you began working with your first class?
Nervous. I'm sure I was more nervous than the students. For one thing, I was not very familiar with Zoom. I hadn't used it, and I was very nervous. And Bruce made a trip to my house to show me how to do Zoom and how to share your screen, because I didn't know that. And so that made me feel much more confident. And I didn't know what to expect. I didn't know how many students. I didn't know where they were from. I didn't know their English proficiency, and I didn't really know at first what my role was. So it was kind of scary.
Yes. And Zoom, first day. So you started in Zoom.
Yes, we did.
Okay.
We
Yeah,
did.
tutoring in Zoom is different. I mean, teaching in Zoom is different, but
Yes, it is.
but then to be in this tutoring role and you're like, I'm really not sure where I
Right.
fit in. Okay,
Right.
I can see that. And then after a couple of sessions, fell right into place?
I had a very steep learning curve.
Okay.
I got better,
Okay.
but there were still times when I'd have to text Bruce and go, "I can't get this, I can't share my screen, I don't know what I'm doing," and he would send me little messages or send me something to help me get organized.
Yeah.
But now I'm pretty good at it.
Yeah?
So, yeah.
Have you done in person as well, or Zoom only?
No,
You're
I've only
still
done Zoom.
Okay.
Yes. And we had talked about looking at in person, but I think the students chose Zoom as the format that they really wanted to do. And I was glad, because I was still a little scared, being with large groups of people
I see. Okay.
because it was still during the pandemic.
Yeah. So it's working well for you.
Very well.
Good.
Yes.
Good. What is it like to work with a CLC teacher?
It's Bruce, so it's great.
Yeah.
He is very enthusiastic. His support of the students is so obvious, and he helps them in other ways, other than just the tutoring. If they have questions about the process, he says, "Well, I'll find out for you. I'll give you a link. I'll talk to you later." So, and he's a lot of fun. It's not boring. And sometimes when I get ready, I think, "Oh gosh, it's 2 hours that I have to commit here." And when I'm through, it's like, wow, that was so fast. And it was so much fun. And I'm always buoyed after the 2 hours of tutoring.
Yeah. Yeah, so, and he makes it easy, it sounds like, too.
Oh my gosh, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Makes all the difference in the world.
right.
What do you enjoy most about being a volunteer tutor for adult learners?
I think part of it is just watching them make progress. And I can see it sometimes week to week. And I don't think they recognize how much progress they're making as much maybe as those of us who are native English speakers do. And to watch, they're so enthusiastic, they're so highly motivated. And sometimes, with the situations that we have to face every day, and then to meet these students and see them so excited to become citizens, it's really, it makes me proud.
Yeah. And have you only done citizenship classes, or have you tutored for other types of classes?
No, just citizenship
citizenship,
classes.
okay.
Right.
Did anything about your work with CLC surprise you?
I think I was surprised at the wide number of countries that were represented. I honestly thought it would be mostly students who spoke Spanish, because I've worked in Oklahoma City Public Schools, and that's the largest minority group.
Yes.
And so I made that assumption, and I was so excited to see there were people from so many different countries, Poland and Iran and just China and Korea. That was really fun. And I get to share some of their customs, and so it's a very inclusive group, and that was really surprising to me.
For me too. The first time I went to citizenship, I was surprised how many different
Right.
dialects, cultures were represented. And it is fun how they do share
Yes.
their cultures with each other, and their food. They like to
Yes.
bring food and share different types of food and everything. It's fun, and
Yes.
they really bond and make some friendships.
They do.
Yeah, which is nice. I agree. What advice would you give someone who is thinking about being a volunteer tutor for CLC?
Just do it.
Yeah.
It's just such fun, and I have talked to, since I'm a former teacher, well, I'm currently a teacher too, I have a lot of teacher friends who are retired, and if they ever mention being bored or wanting something to do, I'm like, oh, I have this great thing that you could do. And so I talk to people about it a lot, and it's just something you can't, I didn't feel prepared, but once I got in there and saw the support that Bruce gave to the students and to me, I felt very comfortable, and I really enjoyed it.
Do you want me to turn that off and redo that question? I'm sorry, that is my cell phone.
Oh, that's your phone?
Yeah, can you hear it in the
Oh, yeah.
audio? Okay, we're going to do that question
Okay.
again. Sorry.
That's a fire alarm.
What's funny is it was somebody from the Northwest Library calling me.
Really?
Oh, sorry. No, I do know who it is. I thought it picked up the location or something. Okay, so sorry, Linda.
That's okay.
It is off now.
I don't know if I was just hearing it through the headphones or if I was picking it up on the mic, so,
It
Okay.
was pretty loud.
It was pretty loud, so
yeah.
sorry about that. Okay, we're going to do that one again.
Okay.
Here we go.
I'm ready.
What advice would you give someone who is thinking about being a volunteer tutor at CLC?
I would say just do it. Don't be afraid. There's a lot of support, and I have lots of friends who are retired educators, and I mention it to them all the time when they say they're bored or they're looking for something to do. And it's not really something, I don't feel like you can prepare for it and then go do it. You just have to jump in and do it.
Yeah.
And find out how much fun it is, and really enjoy it.
And rewarding?
Oh yes, absolutely. And when we have a student who passes the citizenship test, as I said, I'm a former elementary school principal, so we do a lot of fun things. So when the students first started passing the citizenship test, I had some old birthday decorations. So I got a hat and a little blow thing. And so now it's kind of a tradition. Every time a student passes the citizenship test, they know the hat's coming out. So
I love it.
I know. And they're all grown-ups, but grown-ups like to have fun
Yes.
too, so
And it's a big deal.
it is a big deal. I feel like it deserves a hat
I agree.
and a whistle.
At minimum, yes, I agree. I agree. How does your volunteer work fit into your personal journey?
Well, the most important thing is that it got me back into teaching, and which I had really missed because of the pandemic. And once I started doing that and conquered Zoom, I talked to my former boss at UCO and asked if I could come back and work.
Oh.
And she said yes. So for 2 semesters, I have gone back to work at UCO. And I think that was a real bridge. I think if I hadn't done that, maybe I wouldn't have gone back to teaching, because I Zoom 5 or 6 times a day now, and I'm like sharing my screen and trying to act like I know what I'm doing.
You do. You do know what you're doing.
Maybe. But it really was a bridge for me to get back into what I really love, which was working with the students. I supervise student teachers. So
Okay.
it was very helpful for me.
Yes. Is there anything else you would like to tell us about CLC and your involvement?
No, I just think it's been a wonderful experience, and I would absolutely recommend it. You don't have to be a teacher to do it. You just have to care about the students, because that's really what it's all about. And that's what Bruce does. It's clear that he loves the students. He supports them, he encourages them, and the culture in the classes is really positive. And I think anyone who is interested in helping people make one of their dreams come true would be great at this.
Yes.